This project is once in a generational opportunity for enduring change. With thoughtful investment, we could begin correcting decades of neglect and create a more equitable, inclusive city for all residents. The Avenue project is more than just a building. It's a programmatic response to transforming the community. The intensification and extensification of the development will create opportunities, generational wealth, and drive population for decades. Our plan focuses on increasing density to sustain and grow the community.
POA stands for Preservation of Affordable Housing Incorporated. We are a not-for-profit affordable housing developer. We buy and build affordable housing to serve a range of household incomes, from very, very low-income people to more working-class households.
Our ability to come into a neighborhood, refinance, come in, and then say we're going to be here for the next 15, 20, 30 years with you. That means that we're embedded in that neighborhood, and we're not going anywhere. So the trials, tribulations, the growth, the pains of growing, we're going to be right here with you and be a catalyst and leverage to bring in other resources to maybe grow in the way the community would like to have itself grow.
To date, we have done well over 100 tax credit deals. We also have a well-established and growing Chicago office. We've been busy in Chicago for about the last 12 years. We now own and operate properties in 12 Chicago neighborhoods, as well as the suburbs of Elgin and Harvey and Kankakee.
CEC, led by Rachel Ivey, understands that long-term employment is the key for upward mobility. CEC has facilitated hundreds of construction jobs with a retention rate of 75%.
We are born and raised, literally, in the communities that we serve. Our goal really is to be a resource for the community in a non-judgment space, giving them the tools that they need to stay and be successful in the industry.
Through the power of design and working with the city, working with public agencies, working with developers, and most importantly, working with the community, it's really about understanding what the challenges that they face and how we as a design firm and how I as a designer could actually work with them to actually bring about change, positive change in their neighborhoods.
NHS will be part of the ownership structure. The team will develop a new $2.9 million state-of-the-art Westside Hub for homeownership and innovation, provide unrestricted grants to the West Humboldt Park Community Development Council, the Grove School, and Kelly YMCA.
When we think about the program itself, 40+ units of mixed income housing, also trying to provide different elements from a programming standpoint that really speak to the needs of the neighborhood. It's always been more than just the building. It's how does that building actually meet the street? How does that actually interact with the community? And more importantly, how does this one building actually be the catalyst for other development that should be taking place in the neighborhood? If we think about what this means to the larger community and how this could be a catalyst for future development that goes along Chicago Avenue, that's the ultimate goal of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Phase 2 of the proposal includes the redevelopment of the vacant Dollar Tree store at 3401 West Chicago Avenue. This site will be improved with a 42-unit mixed-use building, which will create an eastern bookend of the corridor.
I think that what we've proposed here carries great potential for Chicago Avenue and Humboldt Park. It's important because we have two nodes along Chicago Avenue that we're proposing to redevelop, as well as infill single-family housing at the surrounding community. I believe that if we can get those two anchors settled, that it will attract investment in between them and around them, but also in the blocks surrounding Chicago Ave.
Our team's approach was really to take a corridor strategy and also look at this beyond just the building and the site, but think about how we can create a new infill development strategy that really brings about change. The key part of the building is actually linking these two parts together with kind of a central plaza that's at the ground level, but also having a very strong representative art piece that actually could be an expression of the community that really serves as the backdrop to that stage for that plaza.
The Avenue brings some wonderful opportunities. The urban garden on top of the roof, I think, is going to be fantastic. The stoop idea brings people outside. Not only has eyes on the street, but it also starts to get people more involved with each other as neighbors.
These type of projects are important, especially if it's a catalyst project that can come in, that can spur development, that can spur interest, and bring on other investors. It's also important for the community to be involved and be part of this process, for them to feel ownership of the project, for them to have a say, and for them to know that they are not going to be forced out or pushed out.
Historically, for a local community that has been disinvested for quite a while, A new development is a welcoming opportunity for the community to actually see new development come into their neighborhood, new housing, new retail stores. It improves the ability for the residents to not go into their cars to drive to a different neighborhood to shop, but to actually shop where they live and to live in the new development. It's much needed in West Humboldt Park.
We need consistent access to food, which is what you see behind me, the Fresh Moves Mobile Market. We love to see our nutritionally dense, beyond organic produce going into communities that need it the most.
It'd be a great entry point for me. My other alternative would have been to start a food truck, and with that, I'm taking my talents in different neighborhoods, and I'm not seeing what my labor and my efforts are able to build within a community.
One of the things that we wanted to bring to Chicago Avenue and to Chicago in general is hope.
I think this is going to be great. A new fresh wind for Chicago and the people who will be coming here. So if you give them something, people will come. So I think the community deserves a new opportunity and hope.
Phase 3 of the strategy is to ensure the long-term sustainability of the corridor. Our goal is to re-urbanize the area by increasing the population, creating pathways for generational wealth. Our plan is to build up to 260 homes, bringing a new wave of ownership to the area. To support this effort, KMW will provide $5,000 grant for every home built on public-owned land.
Really excited about this opportunity. Excited for the new development, the concentrated development. This project in particular in West Humboldt Park. You look at Chicago Avenue and just the disinvestment over the decades, over the years. This is a part of the city that has long been ignored, and I think that this project could actually serve as a huge turning point for the community.
Having that diversity culturally, having that diversity as it relates to bringing in other people of color, black and brown, especially those who come from our neighborhoods, who live in our neighborhoods, who have family in our neighborhoods. We offer a different perspective. So I think it's very important when we're actually working on efforts like this, that empathy and that understanding is key, because our perspective not only gives deeper insight, it allows us to work better with the community because we are members of the community.
This team has a unique level of empathy and understanding learned from living and working in the West Humboldt Park community. Our concentrated investment strategy is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform the community through the power of urban development. More inclusive growth will lead to new opportunities for economic development and long-term community wealth. The Avenue team has the knowledge and experience needed to make this project a long-term success.